Well, it's 5 o'clock by my phone, so why don't we go ahead and open the meeting? What do you think? You want to sign first?
Sure, let's
get that done and over with.
Yeah.
All right, so the first one is an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $530,129.11.
That's, what did we?
School.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
School payment.
Yeah.
Yep, should know.
got the amount.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Looking for a motion?
I motion.
Looking for a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Put you on the spot immediately.
Yes, you did. Aye.
Thank you.
Yes.
And over. All right, next is a transfer, it looks like from operating to payroll in the amount, is it 55?
This is the payroll manifest. And yes, that's
Okay,
55.
thank you. All right, 55,454.96. And is that a note to remind us or you that?
That's for me.
Understood. Looking for a motion.
I motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye. I was still trying to figure out 55, 45, 4, 96.
55.
And make that
454.
into a number that I can recognize.
Yep.
I think it gives you your phone number that way too. You're like, what? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there's that. All right, next is an interfund transfer from Frank Drew. I assume this is where the library, it says library unrestricted to TD Bank operating account in the amount of
Oh, this is different.
$1,516.73.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye. And this is the,
That's for using one of the trust funds to pay for expenses for the library.
this is it finally, yay!
This is for, they're expanding the library of things, so in that packet is a list of all the things. that
Cool.
we get.
The Library of Things is a great, I took out a baby seat from there when I had family visiting. Oh, wow. If anybody watching doesn't know about the Library of Things at the library, pickleball set, canning, children's seats, paper shredders, all kinds of good stuff.
Paper shredders.
Yeah. Blood pressure cuffs? Check it out.
Yeah, automotive code reader.
That could be a really useful, really good one.
Yeah.
What's an automotive code reader?
I'll explain after.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, all the modern cars have them. All right, SchoolCare. Oh yeah, this is what we just talked about. So it looks like we need to, Cal is going to be the employee representative, and we need an employer representative.
Yep, so that could be one of you four.
Okay. Do you make sense, or?
Sure.
Okay, all right. I'll let you fill that in.
All right.
Do we need a motion on that, or did you just put your hand up?
Just,
Ken has been
sir.
volunteered to be the employer.
Very good. All right. Anybody want to look at that? We'll fill in
And this is just for the 6 months,
yes.
so to get reshuffled in November, December.
December, well, January 1st, we'll either re-sign with them or somebody else.
Do you want to see?
But for now, from now until the end of the year.
Yeah.
it's-
the, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not volunteering, but I think you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Cal, what am I looking at here?
That is a yield tax levy for map 223 lot 8 in the amount of $953.86.
Thank you. Oh, that, okay, now I see it. Okay, so for, logging.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and we just sign on these, right? Yes.
I have the helpful blue stickers.
Right. And today's the 4th one. Yep.
Where does summer go?
We still have lots of stuff.
All right.
The weather is just getting good. It was so lovely up at Shaker Village yesterday at the concert. Beautiful breeze.
Two.
Correct, just 2 places. Yep. Thank you. All right, next we have an application for reimbursement to towns and cities in which federal and state forest land is situated, 2025. It looks like for us, we've got Ayers State Forest and Shaker State Forest. Isn't Ayers bigger than 41 acres? I always thought it was. I was just there the other night, actually. I'll have to look. I'm just curious now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just signatures, right?
Yeah.
I always thought that was like 200 or so acres. I've never,
Not big, yeah.
yeah, I guess at least road frontage
Yeah.
wise, it's
Yeah.
actually small.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to check that.
Yeah.
I would assume they would know how many,
Yeah,
if they're reimbursing us for
I'm
it.
sure they're right and I'm not, but I still have to look.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to satisfy myself that I'm wrong. All right, that's everything we need.
Which is Ayers? Where's Ayers?
Ayers is off of Northwest Road. Well,
Oh,
actually, yeah, where the state forest is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go in off 132.
Yeah.
And it's down half a mile maybe,
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
I think I always get that confused with the forest that's on 132 that's down across from,
No, Hutchins.
yeah,
Hutchins.
Right,
okay.
right. Which is not a state.
That's
No.
not a state
Yeah,
forest.
that's-
No, but somehow I always think of that one because
Yeah.
I drive by it all the time.
Right. Yeah, Ayers, Ayers is thickly wooded.
Very
That's- Yeah. All right, payroll, Interfund, SchoolCare, that. All right, that brings us to previous minutes approval.
Yep.
So why don't we start with the public meeting on July the 21st, 2025.
The only changes that aren't grammatical or typos are on page 6. On line 254, the suggested change is we could have covered this expense, change it to we might have been able to cover this expense, just to clarify that it would not have been guaranteed.
Understood.
And then the other change is down on line 289, rephrasing that sentence to be, Beth asked that boards and committees provide their reasoning for recommending new members to the select board.
Makes
That's
sense to me. All right, so I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as amended.
I will second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, that brings us to the non-public minutes from also July 21st, 2025.
Okay,
Good. All right, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And if you would pass them down.
Yes, and I didn't even mark it this time.
All right.
This is all in our folder?
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. No appointments tonight.
Nope.
All right, I think that brings us to new business to Baler.
This is the Baler, the antique Baler.
Yep.
The little giant Baler that's up in the Sam Lake House. Talked to Mark Stevens. He thought that Shaker Village would probably be the first offer to donate it.
Yep.
And then there's a farm museum, which is in Milton, New Hampshire, owned by Rochester, just Rochester. And I looked at their website and they have antique farm equipment there, so that might be another avenue.
Okay.
So if you want me to get a hold of Shaker Village, I will.
To be a.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little piece of
Yeah, it is.
old machine. It's great, so yeah, it should be used.
Yeah.
And if neither of them want it, I can't imagine that we can't sell it, but it seems better to donate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
The third one option was the Peverly barn where it was taken down and then rebuilt up in Plymouth.
Oh, yeah.
They use it as an event center, and if you go on their website and it looks really nice. They did a really nice job rebuilding it, and that might be something they might want to put inside their event center.
Yeah.
Well, Common Man too, who always has
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what's the big event center right in Loudon that's on a hill, and they do weddings and things there, and it's in a big barn, and it's. My hairdresser got married there, but I'm sure we can find a place for it.
Yeah.
But those seem like likely first choices.
Yeah.
But thank you.
All right, that's.
Mark always has good ideas, huh? Things like that.
Yeah. All right, floodplain update. I think you got all the mailings that I got.
Yep. So the FEMA sent out, they went through the floodplain update last year, and they've sent out all the new maps, all the new information. There have been no appeals from anybody through the process, at least so far. Once the maps go into, I guess, take effect at the first of the year, then there's an appeals process. If somebody feels that the maps are wrong, or the property is not, either should be on the floodplain or shouldn't be on the floodplain.
Okay.
So, but this is just really an update to say that they're done with the process of reviewing them and making new ones, and they'll go into effect, and then there'll be an appeal period for that, and then once that's done, that's it.
And who is generating these floodplain maps? This is.
Federal Emergency Management.
And do we get like an overlay on so that we can use it on our conservation
No, they give us
maps or
addresses. They give us addresses.
Oh, okay.
And they notify the residents, the people that live there. So it encourages people to get flood insurance.
Yeah.
Basically is what it does. And there's a national flood insurance program that they can apply for.
I wonder if the Conservation Commission needs, like if they have a way to generate overlay maps. It would be handy to know where our floodplain
I
is.
think, and I don't know, you might be able to go onto the federal website
Oh,
and
I
see
see.
if there's an overlay. I'm not sure.
So I've got a meeting this week, so I'll ask them, because I think that would be.
I know that Chief Gamache and Mandy have worked on this when they were redoing the maps, and so, but we got this.
Plan. Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, anything else for new business?
Yes.
Get fined every time you sign.
Tree at the Sam Lake House, it's next to the garage,
Oh, yes.
is looking fairly unhealthy. I talked to Brian Magoon about what it would cost to take it down and stump it. It would be $2,800 to take it down, and then another $850 to stump it and clean it all up and put more. I did talk to John, the road agent, and I said if Brian was to take it down, could they clean it up? And he said yes.
Can he stump it too, or he can?
He doesn't have a stump grinder, so we have to ask him to grind it, which would be $850. I don't know what it would be, just to have Brian, he'd have to limb part of it up and then drop it, because some of the limbs are hanging out quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it would be to do that.
Yeah.
But that was, I thought $2,800 is kind of expensive to,
Well,
I mean, it's a big tree, but.
right. Can we
So-
get, I've got other, I know people, and I'm sure the town does too, to get another estimate. It's always good on
That's
that
right.
size.
Figured I'll talk to Brian and ask him how much it would be just to limb a little bit and then drop it.
Yeah.
And see what the highway department, and then go from there.
Okay, because if you need a name for someone else, the people who just did all the logging next door to me were very
Okay.
reasonable and good.
All right.
So I've got another name for you.
Yep.
The other thing is to just keep in mind that I know Sam had some ideas in his head of using the wood for something related to the Tricentennial.
Yes.
So I don't know if we just have to keep in mind how you cut it, if it's if
Right.
there's a particular part that's more valuable than another part, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sam would be the one, I think, too.
All right.
Because I think he wants to do turn poles or something.
Something,
Yep.
Yeah.
you mentioned that.
Okay.
And at what point do we want to have maybe a conversation about replacing it? Probably not there because of the issues with everything else that's going on underground there. But
I would, I guess I would wait until all the construction is done.
Okay.
If we take it down, we can take it down anytime,
yeah,
even during construction, but to replan, I'd wait until construction is over.
and I'd also include the Tricentennial Committee in that.
Okay.
Because, a tree that might be there for the next 300 years or whatever, some sort of memorial.
Sure.
Mark also had a big plan for planting 300 trees in
Yes, I
town.
did.
In the center right there by the Sam Lake House might be a good place.
Yeah.
Let's put them on our list.
And when Mark Stevens came in to talk to me about the Baler, he also brought up a potential for a, what do they call it,
A time capsule.
time capsule
Yeah.
to put in the Sam Lake garage. When the construction is finished, and maybe have a place for a time capsule in there.
Not built in, but just to live there.
To live there.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe attach it to a wall or something like that, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Alright, okay. I think we might have room for that.
Yeah, he was talking, 2x2, 3x3 or something like that, and I said, I think we can spare that room.
Well, he'd also, when he first brought it up, he was talking about other towns where they had it much more visible than just like in the Sam Lake, in the
he
Sam Lake house.
sent me a picture of one, I think it was in their town office.
Yeah, which seems like it'd be, kind of fun to keep it on people's minds. Let's see how big the thing is first before everybody trips over it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And Sand Lake is not that large, so
Right,
Yeah.
right,
tight on space.
right.
All right. Anything else for new business? All right.
Oh, yes, actually, if this is considered new and not old, did you ever hear from Kevin Bragg about the trees? He Was that considered old business or new business?
I would say old, but
Okay.
that was the tree in the center that he was gonna plant last fall.
Yes, so he just asked again about if the money was still available to purchase the tree, which I said, I believe so, since we said last fall we were going to purchase the tree. But he had, the next question was about somehow figuring out where to plant a new spruce to replace the big one in the center for when that time is through. So I didn't know how we wanted to proceed with that, who we should talk to about that. All of us walk around the center, look, or
Yes, I don't know.
do a center
Is-
walk around?
I mean,
There's not a lot of room there.
No.
No,
well, that's the thing, there isn't a lot of room, and, we had to move the flagpole when they moved the wires,
Yeah.
so we don't wanna have to go through moving wires when a new tree comes up. I don't know, I guess I'd look at it, and
I would think then a
See-
walk around would be,
I think so too, you take a walk around and say, okay, well, how many years does the big spruce tree have left in it?
Right.
And how big is the new one gonna be when we plant it? When the old one has to come down?
well, and maybe there's the question of the elm too, which I still don't think looks good, even what they say about watering it, but we'll see. But it might be worth, can we plant, I don't know, at some point, just have him say when he might be able to walk around with us in the center, because that's a biggie, that's a
Okay.
50-year
I will-
commitment.
I will ask him if he could join you guys for a
Yeah.
site visit.
Yeah, just
sounds good.
talk about trees.
Yep.
And maybe that would be fun, one tree at a time.
Yep, I think there's a lot of wisdom in that.
One
as
tree at a
well.
time,
Yeah,
and that's all I have, I think.
okay. All right, so on to old business, road discontinuances.
Yes. So we all had the decision on Shell Meeting House.
Yep.
Calvin was gonna look at archives and old town meeting, minutes and things like that. I know he's been busy and hasn't had a chance to really dive into things. I wondered what the best way to handle this was. If I don't know if Calvin wants to work with myself and maybe the road agent and the assessor or something like that. And instead of trying to work through it at a meeting like this,
Yeah.
maybe we get together on the side and work on things and then say, okay, this is what we think we should do. And I don't know, Calvin, what are your thoughts on that?
No, that's good. I've got the town meeting minutes from 25, which shows the articles voted for the roads that were discontinued in 25 and 28.
Yep.
I thought they were gonna be in the town reports.
1825.
No, 1925. So
Just
that
checking.
would be Sunset Hill, Shell Meeting House, and Shaw Road. Would be in these minutes.
Yeah.
And it was all voted and approved and signed.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I thought they were gonna be in the town reports.
Yeah.
And I went through all those, and they're not. So I'll have to go back to the archives and pull the old meeting minutes from the
Yeah.
town meetings.
Yeah.
And those all should support it, because they're all in the vote, yay or
Yeah.
nay.
Yeah.
And I think from the emails that we got from the lawyer, that's pretty much all we would need to affirm.
And that's like 8, or what is it total?
The only ones we have left to prove are Sunset Hill, Merrill, Shaw, and Sawyer's Ferry. Wyven was discontinued and you guys voted on it last year as
Yeah.
private. And Shell Meeting House, we've proven it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just 4 left that we have to
Oh,
verify.
Yeah.
Everything else was
new.
post.
I have to add a new one.
Uh-oh.
Renee, who's on the Tricentennial Committee,
Hannah Dustin.
and Dustin brought that up. Apparently it was, if I remember the conversation correctly, at some point in the 60s, I think it was voted to be discontinued, but the town never filed in state Supreme Court. So she was gonna make an appointment to come talk to us at a selectmen's meeting.
Okay.
But, you know, I know
But
this
hasn't
is a
yet.
busy time of the year for
Yes.
them.
So it was discontinued because they took the bridge down that went between Concord and Canterbury.
Okay.
I guess we'd have to check.
Yeah.
I don't know, if, because it was a state road, if the state was responsible for that. I know the town discontinued it,
Yeah.
but I don't know if the state did anything.
Yeah.
So I guess we'd have to figure out
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. She and her husband are living at the end and,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the road was discontinued. Oh, it's like 850 feet from the center of the river,
Okay.
which, and it describes in it, which is about approximately 125 feet from the bridge abutment on the Canterbury side back towards their house.
Yeah, okay.
So it puts the discontinued section just beside, almost right dead in front of their house.
Okay.
And I know she was hoping to discontinue it. She came to the Selectmen a few years ago and wanted to discontinue it further out.
Yeah.
And the Selectmen said, okay, but bring us a warrant article.
Yeah.
And it was never followed up.
Yeah. Apparently they had issues with people accessing the river via their.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Well, and the issue of traffic and grandchildren and et cetera.
Correct, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll figure that one out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then did we decide one way or the other when we get those 8 roads decided that we're going to notice those abutters and make it absolutely clear going forward, so we never have to?
To do that, you
Yeah.
have to go look at the road layouts and see if the town voted, if the selectmen said, we're buying that road. They would have paid the landowners $4 or whatever it was back in 17, 18.
Yeah.
That would mean that's a town right of way. If the roads were laid out and the town never paid, that was all the landowners. So if the road was discontinued,
Right.
property reverts back to the landowners to the center of the road. If the
Yeah.
town owns the right of way, the landowners would in turn only own stone walls. The town would still reserve the right of way, but it would be discontinued. It's kind of a little murky, but
Yeah.
And then what was Greg saying something about the king granting a road? Is that something
There's-
different?
I haven't seen anything about King's roads in town.
Okay.
There was no highways or byways, there's no 93 grand roads. Most everything laid out in town. I mean, Baptist was one of the main avenues and Shaker was one of the main avenues in 132. But everything else was laid out by the town and adopted by the town. Most everything was adopted like 1780s to 1860s.
Okay.
Everything I've pulled in the records. And
Yeah.
after that, it was kind of like, I made a road from my house to Beth's house.
Yeah.
And then after our kids died, we don't want anybody using it anymore. And then it was just discontinued. So it's just, there's a lot of that stuff, but it's all, I have a copy of all the layouts. It's just a matter of playing the lay it out over a light table and figure out what road matches.
But isn't that the last piece of absolutely figuring out these roads, so in the future, no one will say, I own to the middle, no, you only own to the wall, and we have to do it again and.
Well, no, because I think if we as a board or as a town just reaffirm the discontinuance, I think the burden would be on the landowner to prove whether or not the town purchased the road or not. I don't know if that's our burden to prove, per se.
But don't you already have?
Some of them we do, some of them we don't.
Oh.
I mean, it just depends how deep do we want to dig into this. Do we want to go play, where in the world is Carmen San Diego on this and figure out which road lays out with what? Because there's no definitive, it's 14 rods and 7 degrees north
Yeah.
from Jim Bob's Road to Bob's Road. They don't have convenient names. You're trying to overlay shapes on maps, and they might have deviated over the years. So I don't know if that's necessarily the town's burden. I think if we prove they're discontinued or not, I think that would suffice to uphold the town meetings from 100 years ago. I mean, we can dig into it. I don't necessarily think it's priority number 1, but it could be one that we, hey, this year let's see if we can figure out these 5 roads.
But then it's still kind of like where we were before, which is if a problem arises and the landowner brings it up, if nobody ever questions it or has a need to question it, it's just a discontinued road.
Right, but I also think if you're a landowner, some of the burden should be on you to understand where your property is and isn't. Like, for instance, my deed on one of the roads says right of way over this.
Yeah.
Subject to bars and gates. I think when you buy a piece of land, you know whether it's accessible or not.
Yeah.
I think it's easy enough to amend if somebody, Webb has all the road layouts with the maps, and I think he's got 7 or 8 that he confirmed. Some of them were on the list, some of them weren't. And like I said, it's all the information's there. It's just how many hours you want to pour over tracing lines and figuring it out, and then going back.
No, it's how many hours do you want to spend pouring over?
Spend a lot of time at hockey rinks. I'll have time.
Alright,
But I mean,
Okay.
it could be, you know, we can affirm these are discontinued, get the paperwork, check it off the list, and then we can start kind of going through.
Yeah.
Whatever we can pull, but I mean, some of those records, I don't know where you find a lot of them. Most of them are at the state archives in the road layouts, which you can access just going in the main archive room. It's all to the left.
yeah,
And then whatever else you would need, you can have the archivist pull it for you.
Does the select board have the authority to just say we give up the right of way if there ever was one? That way you
Yeah,
save
that's
yourself the trouble and
Good question.
I just don't know.
do you really need the right of way?
I don't think they do.
right of ways go with the land, as we keep hearing, correct, even from
Correct.
1800s?
Right, because the town would have purchased the right of way.
Yeah,
And on some of these roads,
As we found that if someone builds a house in the middle of that right of way, and that was discontinued, and the town never did anything about it, just like we have a little later on,
yeah,
the adverse possession law takes effect. So, town, wouldn't be able to come back on somebody that built a house in the middle of a 200-year-old right-of-way that was discontinued 100 years ago.
yeah, right.
I mean, I think the only advantage to proving if it's a town right of way or a private right of way would be if somebody ever wanted to develop in the future. If the town did buy the right of way and it stayed developable, if that makes sense, there still holds a certain value to the land, where if it was discontinued and it was never adopted, then you're stuck with a woodlot, without petitioning the town for access to, and your neighbors to get permission to develop up behind it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think if we just reaffirm they're discontinued and then we just say, hey, let's take these 7 mystery shapes and try to figure out which 7 they are and just.
Thankfully, it's only 7.
Well, no, but there's gotta be.
There's only 7
50
at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, there's probably 50 layouts on that with the
Yeah.
descriptions. So if we just say, hey, let's take these 7 and work our way through, and if we can find them, we can find them. If we can't, we can't. I mean, a lot of it was record keeping, and we can only
Well,
do
quite
so
frankly, if we
much.
couldn't find them, who else could?
Right. I mean,
It's-
records
it's
were only
not
sold
counted.
at 100 and something years ago, and descriptions are different, and so, I mean, we can do our best to do it that way, but.
Yeah. Are there any we should consider priorities? I mean, I think we've dealt with Wyven with Shaw Meeting House recently.
The only one, the question mark would be Ames Road, because Ames was considered discontinued.
Okay.
The town gave 2 building permits on it, there's 2 houses on the road.
There's 3 now.
3. So I don't know if it would be our decision to, or how we would privatize the road, like they did for Wyven, to allow them to build on it. I don't know if that would change for their land rights, if that makes it more developable if it's private. If it doesn't, I haven't looked into that sort of aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I think everything else has pretty much been left alone that was on that list, except for Ames.
Yeah.
So
So maybe that's a priority, and the rest,
they are.
I like your idea of just chipping away when you can.
Well, that one and Hannah Dustin, I would think
Right.
would put that, since
Yeah.
we've got a landowner that's concerned and is,
Yeah.
well,
I don't.
who hasn't come in to bring that up yet, but
Right.
But that hasn't
Sounds like
popped
they're
up
going.
on any maps, which is weird. I know Hannah Dustin was discontinued, but I haven't seen it reflected on any of our, it's not even on the map from 23 where they have all the discontinued.
no.
Yeah.
There's no reference to it in the key, nothing.
Yeah. Which
So
I
then
think
I
is.
think it's probably because it's only probably a
Portion?
very small portion. Say it was 125 feet from the abutment, from the river's edge, was 125 feet that was discontinued, realistically.
Yeah,
If you don't, because the bridge was taken out, so you can't count that.
Okay.
Right.
So from the bridge abutment,
not from
Onto
the middle
the-
of the river, but the abutment
yeah,
on
from
our
the
land.
abutment that's on the side of the river,
Yeah,
on the Canterbury side, back out to the road is a section that's still there.
yeah,
Although there's lots of trees and everything growing up through most of it, but there's probably half of it, there's probably 75 feet of road that's up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll see what I can find on the list.
Yeah, right.
alrighty.
All right. All right, next is Concord Regional Solid Waste Land Sale.
Yes, so we had the meeting last week, and the board all the members were there, and everybody voted in the affirmative to sell the land. But the motion was to approve the chair to sign the closing documents. Because they didn't have the documents, they had to have approval to go ahead and sell it, and then they're gonna prepare the closing documents, and in order not to have another meeting where all the members are there, they said, well, let's have a motion to approve that the chair signs the closing documents. So that's what they did. Talked back and forth about what to do with the money that's coming from it. And basically what's gonna happen, it's gonna come back to the towns on a percentage-wise basis that is based on the percentage of the tonnage at the time the property was purchased. So it was purchased for just under $2 million. And that was added to the tipping fees. The cost of that was added to the tipping fees for each individual town. The co-op is selling it for $1.5 million, taking a loss, which kind of surprised me. I think it surprised everybody else in the room too.
Yeah.
But Canterbury's share of the money that's coming back from that 1.5 is $8,472.98.
Okay.
So that would be unanticipated revenue.
Yeah.
Do they, do you need to fill us in on the rest of the conversation about the rest of the interest money?
Yeah, so there's 58,000. What they were doing was, the deal was they were paying interest, which was ours to keep if the sale didn't go through, and principal towards the sale of the property. The interest is $58,000, and they're gonna use that to cover the closing costs, and the remainder will go towards covering any operational costs for the co-op, which include maintaining the ash dump up in Franklin. So they're not sure how much closing costs are, but whatever's left over, the co-op has a budget of about $100,000 a year towards maintenance of that facility. They have to pump out the leachate and get it treated, and they have to maintain the pumps and all that stuff. They have to mow it. So whatever's left over from the closing costs, they're gonna just put into that operational account and use that for operations.
Yeah.
So the co-op may underspend their operating budget for this year because of that influx of money, but it doesn't mean that the operational costs are gonna go down next year. Right. Just thing to say.
Yeah.
And then there was the other part with the 100-year plan versus the 30-year plan, and
Yeah, so
There's a lot to-
there's a 100-year long-term plan that there's over $750,000 in that. And then in the 30-year long-term plan, and this is maintenance for the facility or upkeep of the facility, there's 1.3 million in that, but that is required by DES to cover any costs of the landfill if it were to wash out or have a catastrophic failure or something like that. So that 1.3 million has to stay in there. The 750,000 for the 100-year long-term plan can be used towards the budget of the operations, and at about $100,000 a year, they figure almost 8 years of operations. They're going to start transferring $100,000 each year out of that instead of assessing pounds, and that motion passed.
they
So
figured what it would last for like 8 years?
8 years.
Yeah.
They figured 8 years.
That'd be
So
great.
the operating costs should go down a little bit for that facility.
Good.
I think that was about it.
Yeah,
And with the money that's coming back to Canterbury, do we have the ability to earmark that, or does it just go back?
That goes into the general fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's unanticipated
Yeah.
income, and it has to go into the general fund.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah. Every little bit helps.
Yep.
Well, 8,000 is
Yeah.
a nice little bit.
Yes, it is.
So,
All right, small claims update.
Yep, so I had filed for the periodic payments with the court, back the 1st of July.
Yep.
I hadn't heard from them, so I contacted them, and they said that is 60 to 90 days for them to get to that.
Hmm?
So
Okay, so we got a ways to.
we have a ways to go before they maneuver through that process.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the booth right of way.
Yes, I sent you all an email from the
Yep.
attorney. I think basically, through adverse possession, the town doesn't owe Mr. Booth anything.
I agree with that position.
So I didn't know if you wanted me to write another letter to Mr. Booth and explain that.
I think the explanation that we got from Christina Paranis was very clear.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him, but you neglect it for that long, that's the unfortunate fate.
Mhm.
Do you think he'll have any legal recourse to this, or do you think there'll be a challenge to it?
There may be. I mean, the first communication we got from him on this was through his attorney. He's been communicating with us outside of his attorney, so I don't know where he'll go with this.
I think it's, he still has the property, he still has access, as we've discussed in the past, he could still make a deal with
He
papers
could
if
contact
he needed
the adjacent abutting landowner and see if he's willing to sell part of his property or whatever.
Yeah.
Does it benefit us to not counter, but make an offer and say, hey, we'll widen your right of way to 25 feet consistently instead of the snowmobile trail? I mean, does goodwill go anywhere, or is it a situation of, sorry, but
we don't have any room to maneuver, it's the,
we did for 25 feet, but not for 50.
Right.
oh.
25 feet, you could get a driveway. I mean, you could
What was
potentially
what was the
compromise.
most narrow part? I thought the most narrow part was 25 and it was,
27
27 feet or
at the
something.
back corner.
Yeah.
so he's got 25. And 50 at the
Well,
opening.
no, that would be the most that we could, if we were to, it narrows down to what, I think, I can't remember what the width of that is now. It's only like 12 or 15 feet.
Oh, okay,
Right.
But if we started at the road, it's like 50 feet.
correct.
But then it goes, that snowmobile trail starts out at almost 50 feet at the road,
Correct.
but then narrows way down.
I didn't know it were narrowed, I
Yeah.
didn't remember it narrowed down to 12, I thought it narrowed down to the,
Yeah, but not the, no, the 27 with the most, if we were to give him any town property, the widest we could give him was like 27 feet.
got it,
32 feet or something like that. We couldn't give him.
couldn't get to 50.
But that's coming right up next to the utility pole, the
Right.
underground utilities, and the propane tanks.
Right, that's why we couldn't go to 50.
So, I don't know, there'd have to be some kind of buffer there.
Right.
But I don't know.
I'm not sure I'd start there, this seems like a good starting place at the moment, or a good place at the moment, it's not the start, but.
Okay, so I'll draft a letter and send it around to you guys.
Yes.
If you have edits, then send them back to me.
Yeah.
And then I will send out the final.
Yeah.
Before I send it out.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds good. All right, select board representative reports.
This almost doesn't make sense because this is the first, and then our meeting, like I've got all my meetings this week,
Right.
so I
Well, we
don't have anything to report
Yeah, I
till
was
next time.
kind of thinking the same thing. Why don't we, do this at our next meeting?
Can we, yeah,
Because
I would
then
think so.
we'll have some stuff to report on, because I'm thinking next week is
planning board,
Yes,
and while I don't think anything is scheduled with the developers for 2019, we may have some, because they've
Well,
got to appear before the council.
they're coming into the Conservation Commission, so I'd like
So
to be able
you
to
may
report
have-
on that. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's do that.
Okay,
And actually, speaking of that, if we can put that under old business, so I think I asked you, but I confess, remember what you said. Have we heard back from the gas station at exit 18 that
no,
property is looking,
yeah, so I have in my notes, because Joel's been on vacation,
yeah, yeah,
and he has a phone number,
okay,
and I don't know where it is, to contact them. So I was waiting until he got back from
Okay.
vacation. So my notes have him call them.
because every time I go by, it's just,
Yep.
that's one of the points.
Permitting issues with DES regarding the buried tanks. That's what I heard. I don't know the validity of it, something with, they had to go through re-permitting,
Oh,
and it's been,
because I thought it was all approved.
Well, they said it was all approved, or they said they've been working on that in the background, but I don't know.
it could be the rumor mill. I just heard that there was permitting issues and they have to wait for DES to redo the permits. That could be completely out of left field, but that's what I had last heard.
I thought that had all been approved, because when they went to the ZBA,
It had something to do with the space of the lot, and they weren't sure if the tanks would fit, so they had to reapproach DES because to conform with the new pumps.
But I thought they talked about that at the last meeting. Whatever. But,
I don't know.
okay.
That's all I heard.
All right,
Could
so
be.
my concern is just that they keep claiming it's not abandoned and it looks more and more abandoned every day, and that's one of the criteria.
Yep.
They didn't seem to think it was important, but everybody's coming off exit 18 and looking at that, and it's not good.
okay,
So that's my concern with it.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else, old or new business?
yes, I have a card here from Robin.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
please, thank you.
I got potential new business, but I'm not sure. A couple of people asked why the town doesn't have a, like a sign in the green talking about what's going on in town, like they have at the school. And they were wondering what the process would be to look into doing something like that. They feel more people would be involved if they drove by it every day and saw whatever, on the billboard. Did I answer that?
Some
Yeah.
years ago, there
Okay.
was a,
Big push from the,
Yep,
yeah, there was a push, and they were gonna put it in front of the town hall.
Okay.
And, that didn't go,
there was also a whole plan afoot, and I'm trying to think if it was from Sue at the library, because
Yeah.
I drew up
there was.
plans,
Yes.
mock-ups of a built thing either on the town hall
Yeah.
lawn or over on the edge of the cemetery lawn, or there was any number of places and nobody liked the way it looked anywhere, so it was not pursued
Sorry.
at that time. No, it doesn't mean that it can't be pursued, but it's,
Well, I just had some people at one of the last.
There were
events.
concerns because it's a historic center,
yeah,
and there wasn't, it just didn't seem like it fit anywhere really good that wouldn't be, I don't wanna use the term eyesore, but just not appropriate.
well, like, you think of the, like the pancake breakfast sign that goes up with the police department on the corner of the green, which is great for a week, but if it was there all the time,
Well, I mean, you got the Canterbury Fair sign on 2x4s. Why can't you put a little 4x6 down on the corner? It's not going to affect anything. Make it white and black like the rest of everything down here. It could be nice if. I think
I don't disagree, but there was pushback.
yeah, a
I
lot.
was just saying because the three people that asked said, I think people would be more prone to come to things if they drove by and saw it. Not everybody sits on Facebook and goes on town forums. So I just brought it up because people had asked and it, just curious. But since they tried it before,
Well, that doesn't mean it's not worth trying again, but I think we've got a lot more ways that people can find information now. Especially, if you go into the library, it just hits you all in the face. You do have to get out of your car and go into the library. And they used to put the sign from the library with the events on the edge of the town hall
They did.
lawn, and then
Yeah,
I
there was a
don't,
little,
it's now in front of the library.
black
it
Yeah.
used to be out here on the sidewalk.
And I
They
don't
had
know.
problems with the wind blowing.
Yeah,
So,
so I think that could be revisited in a better way.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry,
Yeah.
it's
I think if you came up with a design or something and.
I can show you what I did before. It looked like the ones that you see in front of a high school, that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Or like the one in front of the church.
Yeah, because I'll be the one to admit it. I only remember school stuff because I drive by it every day.
There is, So there's a little one, if you're driving through Bosquen, up by the Cumberland Farms, there's that little one, the black and white, and they have
Yeah.
changeable letters on it. And I mean, there, it's in front of that old, well, it was an inn, now it's a hotel. But I don't think it looks bad. It's not really big and outrageous, it's not lighted or anything like that. But again, you know, I think you'd have to look at it and talk to different people and see.
Well, yeah, in the center, just think you've got the one in front of the church, you've got all this stuff in the store, you've got everybody who's putting the signs on the corner by the memorial, you've got the thing that
Which-
says Elkins Memorial. Yeah, we've got to talk about those signs sometime.
There is a sign policy for
Yeah.
the town green.
Mhm.
And it has been in violation for quite a while.
Yes,
No one's complained to me, so I haven't said anything.
hoping the
about it.
farmer's market is okay. We take them up, we put them down.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, that was talked about several years ago when the farmers market started.
Right,
But the other ones that go up and stay up for all summer,
yeah.
are the ones that really are in violation of policy.
Yeah.
Then if I brought this up with Kevin at the next HDC, would that be?
That might be, yeah, that would be a way to bring it up.
Yeah, because I would think certainly they've got to be on board with
Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm free.
Beth?
No, no.
All right. All right, Joshua, thank you for coming. I'm going to kick you out briefly. We're going to go into executive session, so,
Can we,
but we won't be long.
All right.
Hang out.
Be ready.
So, yeah,
we can't deal with him first?
no.
Okay.
He's looking to speak privately.
Oh, okay, got it.
Select board members.
You can't obviously write a thank you card and think at the same time.
I think you wanna go with
Yeah, which one applies?
D, consideration of the acquisition, sale, or lease of real or personal property, which if discussed in public would likely benefit a party or parties whose interests are adverse to those of the general community.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to make a motion